Good morning and welcome to City Beat. I'm Molly Gibson Kirby, and today in the studio with me is Mayor Tim Johnston. If you have any questions, call us at 677-8181, or you can email CHTM@arcticradio.ca. Welcome, Tim. To get started, why don't you give us an update about what's been happening around our city?
Well, just over the last week, obviously we had the long weekend, so I hope everyone had a safe and enjoyable weekend. The weather cooperated. There were lots of people out at Paint Lake and lots of people out and about doing things, so that was great to see. In terms of the city, obviously it's back to school this week, so encourage everyone to be safe and cautious in and around the school zones, especially today, because today is the day the kids are going back. And obviously the capital work continues. I want to advise that unfortunately we had thought that our asphalt crew was going to be in this week, but they've been delayed by about a week, largely due to the weather issues in Winnipeg and having to stay down there to complete the work they have there before they come up. So we're hoping they're going to be in likely next week. So we've been working with the contractors to ensure that the gravel areas that are going to be paved are smoothed over. The rain really kicked the crap out of it in terms of the potholes and things like that. So we've worked with the contractors as well as our own crews to try and get out and level some of those gravel areas in anticipation of the asphalting. So really that's about it, but the big one is, boy, I'll tell you, September is going to be a very busy month in terms of a number of activities that maybe we can touch on a little bit later in the show, but encourage people to get out and enjoy all the things, especially Health and Leisure Mart this upcoming weekend. This is when you can plan the activities for yourself, your family, for the complete winter, and I'll tell you this, one of the great things about Thompson is there is such a variety of activities for people to participate in. There is no reason for anyone to sit inside over the long, cold winter. Get out, get active, and have fun.
All right, so let's talk about the Health and Leisure Mart happening this weekend. It's happening at the TRCC. What can people expect? I mean, what kind of activities happen in Thompson that people might not be aware of that happen in the winter?
Well, I'll tell you this again, I just note there is such a variety of activities, whether it's fitness, whether it's outdoor sports, whether it's programming, so we'll have a wide array of activities and organizations down, taking sign-ups, providing additional information. So I always encourage people to get down, take it in. It's a great time to see what we do have to offer, and actually a little bit of time to get out and mingle and catch up with people that you might not have seen over the summer. I will note that one of the things that we're really excited about is we're going to have an open house on the fitness area that has just been completed, so people will be able to take a look at the equipment, take a look at the area in the Bill Kamaski Wellness Center. So we're excited about that because that's going to get up and running right away. So encourage people to get down, take a look, and I know we're going down, and likely in our family, I think we're going to have someone signing up for Scouts, probably the ski hill, and likely the trail breakers. So we know a little bit in advance some of the things that we're going to look at, but when you get down there, you're always amazed at the different activities. Encourage people to take a look.
And it's Friday evening and Saturday throughout the day?
Friday, Saturday, encourage people to get down. Especially this is another opportunity really to see the TRCC fully completed with UCN done. So it'll be a great chance for people to go down and see the facility.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so today was the start of school and speed zones have constantly been an issue of discussion.
Really?
Yeah. What do you want to remind residents of, and why is it 24/7?
Well, you know, what I want to remind residents of is the intent of this legislation is about safety for children. And first and foremost, that's what it was about. The province of Manitoba gave us the ability through a change in their legislation for municipalities to introduce school speed zones. Many of my age will remember school speed zones used to exist in municipalities, and then they were removed, and now the province has given us the opportunity. City Council went through a process that probably lasted at least a couple years in terms of a consultation. We spoke with the school district of Mr. Lake. We spoke with the RCMP. It was a bylaw, so it required 3 readings of council. At each of those readings, there was opportunities for revisions. We looked at other municipalities in terms of what they offered. We considered all the options, including taking a look and do we do it 24/7, which we decided to do. Do we do it for every school, elementary and the high school, which we decided to do because there were options. There were options about putting time limits on it. There were options about excluding certain schools, such as the high school. But at the end of the day, council decided through recommendation from the Public Safety Committee, which those meetings were open to the public, that the best course of action to initiate the program was to go 24/7 at all schools. The opportunity exists for council to revisit that at any time. It would take a bylaw change, and I think we're open to it. What I would encourage people to look at is, let's see how it works for a period of 3 months or 6 months, because we did our due diligence when we put this together, and it was an open and transparent process. I'm always shocked when all of a sudden people come out of the woodwork and say, I didn't know anything about this. Well, I'll tell you what, then I'm not sure which rock you're living under, because I'll tell you, it was pretty open and pretty public. So we're open to considering those things, but I'll tell you this, we did consider all those options, and I think council will be prepared to do that in the future. But think about this, because I always tell people, let's use common sense on this one. So I've heard the notion, well, we should change it so it's not 24 hours, 7 days a week. And I say, well, when is the biggest challenge for most commuters? It's probably during 8:30 to 4:30. So even if we went to the hours off of the normal school day, well, you're still going to have the 30-kilometer zone when you're commuting to work. So let's think about this. And I had one caller that came in, and I appreciate when people phone me. I really do. And one of my comments was, okay, tell me specifically what your concerns are. Because there's some we can likely work around. There's some that probably wouldn't be resolved by the bylaw change anyways. So we've looked at it, and I think even in some of the elementary zones, there's one in particular where I think maybe we can adjust the locations a little bit. So I would encourage people, let's use common sense. Let's remember it's safety first. And in 3 months, 6 months, yeah, let's have council review it. And let's consider what some of those changes would be. But I've always said, go to the extreme to start, because it's easier to make the adjustment. It would have been much harder to go the other way. And the last thing I'd say is that never forget, a habit takes 21 days of constant performance in order to make it acceptable. And so I look at it and I go, let's try it and see what it's like. At the end of the day, I've timed it, as I've said before, in the Riverside area. It's a matter of seconds. I would balance off a matter of seconds with safety at any time. And you can't measure the safety because hopefully there's never an accident. That's an achievement. So to me, I ask for common sense. I ask for some patience. I ask people to try it. We've said clearly, this is not a speed zone trap. That is not our intention. So we've said right now, anyone that's coming through that zone is likely going to be issued a warning unless it's excessive speeding. There is no reason to be excessive speeding in that zone, over 50, whatever. So we're going to try and work with people. We're doing an education process. And at the end of the day, I think that let's review it and talk about it 3 months, 6 months down the road. The last one is I heard all these comments from people. I'd point people to the Winnipeg Free Press of last Saturday. There were 2 excellent articles. One article was on the speed zones and the notion of the impact or the survival rate based on different speeds. And I heard someone say, well, it doesn't make a difference at 30 or 50. In fact, it makes a big difference on the survival rate. So let's use the facts. Let's not let emotion get involved in this thing. Common sense. And I'm not afraid, and I hope the next council won't be afraid of reviewing it through the proper process and going forward. But a knee-jerk reaction, day 3 of introducing the bylaw, to me is just, come on guys, we got to be better than that. And don't think for a minute that the City of Thompson and Public Works Committee didn't do our due diligence in terms of bringing this in. We considered all those options. We felt this was the best option.
And it was a long time coming.
Absolutely.
All right, so last week there was a lot of chitter chatter. Sue covered City Beat and she talked about your best moments as mayor. Does that mean you are running again or not running again in the next election?
No, it's absolutely clear. It's public. I am not seeking re-election. I've always believed in term limits. I've stated that before. It's been a very difficult decision for me because, as I said to Sue last week, it's the best job you can have in Thompson. I absolutely love it. I love our community. But I do believe that change is good. And I think that part of that change, if I truly do believe in term limits and I believe in change, then I've got to live it as well. So we decided as a family that I'm not going to seek re-election. Let's be very clear, I'm not leaving Thompson. Interestingly enough, we haven't had a history of mayors staying in the community a long time after leaving office. So I look forward to that role. And I see a long-term involvement at the community level because I love Thompson. I think that's a responsibility, an obligation of people. So to me, I want to thank residents. I mean, it's been an absolute privilege and an honor to represent this community, and I look forward. Now, someone called me actually after the show and said, you forgot one of your big accomplishments, and not mine, and council's accomplishment, both terms, and that was the completion of the Thompson Regional Community Center. I completely forgot about it when we were doing it because it's been in the works for so long. So I'm very pleased with what we've done. The other one was the BTC, someone reminded me, and the movement to paving, and I will always be very proud as the first mayor in this community to actually make a commitment and fulfill a commitment to see the starting of the paving of the BTC. And the plan is there for every council in the future to follow it. It'll only take 4 more years and it's done, and I hope they do it. So, short answer to your question, no, I'm not running.
Okay, well, come November, City Beat's going to obviously miss you. Okay, so it's September now, it's a new month. You talked a little bit about the asphalt coming and that kind of thing. So what's the main priority for the city this month?
Well, it's to finish up our capital projects before the weather turns on us. Obviously, that's the big thing, and I'm very confident we're going to be able to do that. One of the things that used to frustrate me is we used to do asphalting almost in the snow. We're going to get done our capital work before the end of September. I'm confident on that, and so that is our priority. Clear up all the summer stuff and get ready to move into the next season, which is. Unfortunately, Thompson fall is sort of very short. You kind of go from summer to winter, so we got to be ready for that.
I've heard that. Okay, so we're actually running out of time, so I'm going to give you some time to talk about some upcoming runs and community involvement things that are happening.
Well, I'll tell you, it's amazing the events that are coming up. So first off, we've got the Health and Leisure Mart this weekend. We've got the Mud Bogs this weekend. Encourage people to get down, take a look at it. It's going to be great. We've got all sorts of events coming up. One of the ones that I really encourage people to get involved is the Terry Fox Run, obviously September 14th, just an absolute great cause. We've all been impacted in some way or another by cancer, so encourage people to go out and support that. We've also got YWCA Walk a Mile in Her Shoes, September 20th. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be in the city for that event, so I do apologize. We got the second annual Run for Mums on September 20th. We got Wellness on Wheels coming up September 12th. And the other one I want to give a plug for is the People First Thompson chapter annual fundraising social. Chris Blake does a great job over there, and encourage people to support that. That's going to be September 27th. 2 proclamations. One is that September 9th has been proclaimed International Fetal Alcohol Spectrum Disorder Awareness Day. Encourage people to take a look at that. And the second one is the month of September 2014 in Muscular Dystrophy Awareness Month. So lots of great things happening in the city. Encourage people to get out and involved. And again, I remind people, you know, when you see an issue, please give as much time to picking up the phone and giving me a call or the city of Thompson a call as you take to get on Facebook and complain about it, and then maybe we can actually do something about it. We had a situation right here in the back lane where there's some concerns about some of the behaviors. So we took a quick look at that. We did some communication with people, and we went in and we did some brushing. So the city is there. We want to work with residents. We're not the enemy. We're all in this thing together. If you got a concern or complaint, give me a call. I love talking about Thompson, and then maybe we can do something about it, whether it's me or any other member of council.
Perfect. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
This has been City Beat for this week. Join us again next Thursday for more questions and answers with the mayor. For 102.9 CHTM, I'm Molly Gibson Kirby.